right, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to chat a little bit about skiing and snowboarding in Idaho, just to give you a little idea of some of the places to go, things to consider. We've got a couple of great guests on tap today. We've got Dr. Bledsoe and Keith Kellum. Been in the Boise, Idaho area for quite some time, but before we jump into the conversation, just wanted to share real quick. Sponsor for the day is our perfect home buying process. We built this over the last couple of decades. We've got a lot of valuable information to send your way in the way of podcast series, real estate secrets we'll share with you, different valuable reports, a nice relocation and lifestyle guide, but then also some offers for your appraisal and your home inspection. And at the end of the podcast, we'll chat about how to take advantage of that. But for now, we'll introduce our guests, and we'll get to chatting. How you doing, gentlemen?
Good.
Doing good.
Good to have you. Dr. You've been in Idaho since what? 25 years ago? You're 25 years old?
26.
26.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't want to lie. It's actually 28, but I like to try to kick it back.
But my point is, Dr's a native, so he's seen a lot in his time here in Idaho. Keith and I have been here for quite some time as well. Would you say 05, Keith?
Yep.
Yeah, I got here in 94, so we can share a little bit about you. I think both D and I. Well, you board and ski, don't you, Dr?
Yeah, dude. It's like whatever I'm in the mood for, man. It's whatever the mountain's telling me. It's what I do.
Nice. Yeah, I'm a boarder. I'm a converted boarder. I used to ski, and then my brother told me when my kids were coming to the age where they were going to be up on the mountain that I should learn how to snowboard. And I got to say that was one of the most painful experiences of my life. That was brutal. And Keith's the skier of the group. How you doing, Keith?
Yeah, good. So what did they say? It's, skiing is easy to learn, hard to master, and snowboarding is hard to learn, easy to master. Would you agree with that, Dr?
I would say you're able to do more terrain. Once you pick it up, you're able to do more terrain in different areas on a snowboard. Yeah, I would agree with that probably because you kind of can, when you can spread your feet out on skis, you feel like you're pretty good. But then when you go to do technical stuff, it's hard. Like you gotta have spent time and know what you're doing. Where, at first you're strapped to one board and you're just committed and you're falling over like a tree and your neck's killing you half the time. But then you can go hit some pretty cool stuff pretty quick.
Yeah, if you I'd say if you're probably over 30 or so, that you're starting to question your sanity if you want to figure out how to board. Or actually, when did you learn, Dr?
Well, see, that's the thing. I mean, I was on skis, in my late teens, and then in my 20s I did some boarding, and then, again, I do either one. I'll do once or twice a winter, and that's it. So, I mean, I don't consider myself either one, but I can do both.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm just pulling up some of the locations that we have around the area. Brundage is by far our closest location. This is Steve's. Sorry, I was thinking it was one of yours, but Steve Dempsey really loves the snow up here at Brundage. I think, isn't that kind of their claim to fame, is the quality of snow?
Best snow in Idaho. That's my favorite spot.
And that's because it's west facing, and the clouds and whatnot will come off the ocean and kind of dump. Is that where that comes from, Dr? Do you know, Keith? Do you know?
I don't know exactly so much studying weather pattern stuff. I just know elevations are good, and it really gets some great snowfall, and I think more than anything, it's good elevation.
Yeah, well, I was thinking Tamarack was fairly close in elevation, but Tamarack's an east-facing hill. That's my favorite mountain. But anyway, I was just trying to remember why it is that I always hear that it's got such excellent snow. Here's a Tamarack website here, give you an idea of what to
Just to
expect there.
mention, like the website was showing there on Brundage, I was up there, I lived up there for 3 years, and actually I helped them and ran their snowmobile guide program, helped get that started. But along with that, I was always talking with ski patrol guys and people who work there. But there's a huge project going on at Brundage now where they're building a phenomenal lodge, sold a bunch of chunks of ground for people building big, custom, beautiful homes on. They're doing a bunch of townhouse stuff. So there's some amazing things happening at Brundage as we speak.
Yeah, they really caught the bug for development. I think once they saw Tamarack doing all of the residential development, they decided to jump in. I was trying to look for I was going to get a map here to give you an idea. So we're all down in the valley here, the Treasure Valley. So the Boise, Idaho area. And we're 2 hours, depending on where you're at in the valley, but basically 2 hours from the Boise area up to Tamarack. I drive up, beautiful drive up 55 past Cascade, and then through Donley, and then Brundage is just a little bit further up past Payette, past McCall here, Payette Lake,
Yeah, and
McCall.
your our Tamarack pin is just a little off,
It
um,
is, huh? I was just wondering
because
about
on
that.
Lake Cascade, it's Tamarack's right there across the Lake
Oh,
Cascade,
this
right there,
That's the
about to
city
the
of
left.
City of
Tamarack.
Tamarack, yeah, yeah. So the Tamarack Resort,
That's the Solomon. Yeah.
yeah, it's right here about Donnelly. If you go up to Brundage, you'll navigate. You'll keep going up 55 to get into 95 before Pinehurst. I wonder why I'm not seeing any image of that. But anyway, both about 2 hours
Yeah.
north of Boise, and then Bogus is visible from down in the valley here, probably half an hour, 45-minute drive. So the claim to fame of Brundage, or excuse me, Bogus would be night skiing, proximity to town, and then night skiing. Is there any other kind of notable aspects of Bogus?
Tons.
I mean, that differentiates it
From
from kind of the others.
well, I'm not at DR's level by any means. I've only been in the game here for 5 6 years, and I just keep it real chill. I stick to the groomers, if it's not groomed, I'm not doing it, and I don't even care. I go have a great time and just grin from ear to ear, and leave with all my limbs intact, and it's just a great place. It's a great mountain. The people that work there are always helpful. Um, it's kind of crowded on the weekends, but yeah, night skiing, going up there and watching the sunset, it's just spectacular. Probably one of my favorite things about Bogus is when it's super, what do they call it, inverted, when there's the
Inversion.
fog cloud cover in
Yep.
Boise, and you can literally drive up through the clouds and pop up, and it just looks like a white ocean. You're on, and you can see the little islands of the mountains around. It's the most prettiest thing I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if it's
Yeah, it's
not good
gorgeous.
It's
English,
kind of
but
like
it's
maybe what
amazing.
heaven would look like.
Yeah, just like that.
Hey, so Keith, two things. One, just so you know, when I'm skiing, my nickname is called Yard Sale. Okay,
Didn't know that about you.
because
That's awesome.
I will wreck a lot, and I will have stuff scattered all over the mountain because I always go way too fast than my skill set allows me, and I am a yard sale of a wreck. Um, and then the other thing is I do need to take my boys up there and experience the night skiing because the last time I did night skiing on Bogus, this is no joke, when I was like 16 years old, 17 years old.
Yeah, we got to do it this year.
Yeah, I'm all in.
Let's see. I was trying to get to the Bogus.
They're open until 10 o'clock.
Where's Bogus? Oh, here we go. Here's the Bogus site. This will give you a little idea.
We'll have to
Yeah.
pick
So,
a day once there's some good snow and just make it happen.
Absolutely. The one downside to it is if it's gotten too warm or whatever during the day, then as soon as the sun drops, it can get kind of icy. Um, but that's not all the time. That's just a concern for the night skiing. If you're me.
Well, and I bet with the temps we've been having this week, if there was good snow now, it would be great at night because it's staying cold.
Exactly. Yeah. When it's cold during the day, then the sun goes down. It's just still cool. It's a little chopped up from people skiing on it all day, but man, it is. The views just blow me away, and watching the sunset from up there is just unmatched.
and just so everybody knows, the photos I'm showing these are Tamarack photos. I don't have any apparently any Bogus photos. I was thinking I had something of. Oh, here's Brundage.
Yeah. Those were
Yeah.
some of our male model friends you were showing.
Yeah, this I used I invoked Steve's name earlier, and Steve's funny because he's got passes at all three: Tamarack, Bogus, and Brundage. So, but he's retired, so he's looking forward to it. So these were Tamarack photos, just to give you a little idea of kind of what to expect up there. This is Bogus, right? Yeah, yeah. There we go. Well, that's not very helpful though. What's this one? Oh, they're having a competition up at Tamarack. Let's see. Oh, there's a half pipe. Oh, that's not it. But Tamarack's the only one with a half pipe, right? To my
I don't
knowledge.
go down those runs.
Oh, that's right.
But that's the beauty of them all.
I
I think
definitely don't go near a half pipe.
yeah, Brundage is by far my favorite. It's just it's the easiest to get to. It's only 15 minutes out of McCall. It's just a low key, wonderful spot. It's never I've never seen it overly crowded. I'm sure it does get have its moments, but again with the icy, that's kind of one of the downsides of Tamarack is the elevation goes right down to lake level, obviously, because that's where it sits, and the last part of the mountain there can get a little slippery, with the sun beating on it all day.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good point.
Yeah, I would say in the 3 years I was up there a lot in the winters with the snowmobile program, you'd see the chairlift. The busiest the crowd it ever got was during holidays, of course. And then typically it was like 11 to 2. It was insane with the lines. But before that and after that, they'd be pretty mellow and it would be great.
That's a good
Yeah, they got
point.
a new lift this year too. They replaced Centennial lift at Brundage with a new high speed quad. So now there's two high speed quads at Brundage this year.
That's the part that scares me to death, is getting on that chairlift.
I don't mind getting on. It's the getting
was
off
the
part.
hardest thing I did.
Yeah. The whole chairlift experience scares me. It's like, oh, here it comes. Oh, we gotta get off now. I'm sure. Get out of the way. Get out of my way. I can't turn.
My favorite's being a boarder, somehow figuring out a way to get sandwiched in between two skiers. That's fun. Just kidding. Kind of a nightmare. So you guys mentioned it earlier, but we should probably talk about it a little bit. As far as lines, what would you say? Bogus probably has kind of the busiest, just because of its proximity to downtown.
Probably, especially on the weekends.
Yeah, everybody head out after school, after work, and do the night skiing we were talking about. I think Brundage is maybe the second busiest. if I had to guess.
No, there's definitely some Tamarack lovers and Brundage lovers. I think everybody kind of would say Brundage has the best snow, but I know some people who love the Tamarack slopes better. So it just depends, I think, what your flavor is.
Yeah, back in the day, I got the bright idea to navigate through the tamarack trees, hence where the name came from. And the leaves fell, and they had the well between the trees, but just had amazing snow with just the right amount of grade, so you could board between the trees. Glad I didn't hurt myself, but I'm not recommending that, is what I'm saying. It wasn't the smartest thing I've ever done, but I did live. But there's speaking of quads, there's another a new lift going up at Tamarack, and I believe that's going to be a quad. Wonder if anything's on the website about that. Let me look it up here. Where do you boys like to go, DR? Where do they prefer to go?
Oh, they really enjoy Brundage, but they also love, a place a lot of the kids go. Elementary, junior high, and high school kids love to go. That's just real close to town. It's Little Ski Hill. Um, it actually has a pretty neat little mountain and a lot of little features. And I actually play, doing jumps and tricks. Food that's reasonably for kids to show up, change and usually by these races, they're going to be beer or beverages and food. But for kids, that's kind of a neat little option.
And they don't have a lift, right? It's a tow rope or rope tow, or what do you call that?
Yep, tow rope, yep. A rope tow, yep.
Magic carpet ride?
Yeah, I love the magic carpet. That's my kind of deal.
Yeah. Well, how about any other mountains? I haven't made it out east for any of those mountains. Have you?
I've been to Bald Mountain once in Sun Valley, and that was a great experience. I couldn't believe how big it was. There's like 16 Brundages that can fit in Sun Valley.
Yeah.
Really?
The place is incredibly huge. I mean, you ski forever, and then you stop and look around, and you're not even halfway down.
Yeah. What is Sun Valley? 3 hours from Boise?
Yeah.
I mean, we don't even really have to talk about that. I mean, it's. I think most people know that's one of the best places you can go for skiing, boarding.
Yeah, Bruce and Denis wanted me to come out and hang out with them a couple times skiing back in the day, but I never made it up.
Did you turn them down? Tell them you're busy.
When
I was busy, I was like, "Sorry, I'm hanging out with Clint and Arnold, so I don't have time to hang out with you two."
Actually, that is an interesting point. We do have quite a few celebrities up in that area. Val Kilmer lives up in that area, as I recall, or used to.
He might. I know. He actually had a place in Boise for a while.
Yeah, and then Architectural Digest or somebody did a review or a spot on what's the guy that plays Jesse on Breaking Bad? I always forget his name, but anyway, he's got a place up in that area. My point is not to name drop or anything, but to tell you that there's reasons why people live up in that area. It's beautiful, great skiing, great boarding, just food, shopping. Sun Valley's where you want to go for all that. As far as retail, Bogus and Brundage have kind of your smaller cafeteria, your resort, not a lot of retail. Tamarack's going to have, has a fair bit of retail, going to have a lot more retail. And then of course Sun Valley, the whole city has got a ton of retail. If that's your thing, if you're not on the hill itself.
Exactly.
Is there anything else you think the folks would want to know?
Well, there's the little mountain, Soldier Mountain. You guys ever been over there? That's Bruce Willis, I think, used to own that, and he donated it to the county or the city or somebody. And now but they still, you can rent the whole mountain out for not actually an extraordinary amount of money. Um, I had a good time there. Small,
Yeah,
but skiing.
that's right.
Yeah. You
Bad.
got that, which is kind of between Fairfield and Sun Valley, right? And then you've got Pomerelle, which is eastern Idaho, heading down to Salt Lake. Um, and then you got the ski hills up there, in northern Idaho, up around Coeur d'Alene. And so Idaho definitely has quite a few destinations as well.
If you want to get out of Idaho, I don't think Park City's all that far. I think it's 6 or 7 hours. So if you want to go there.
Yeah, that's an experience for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, we're coming up. We just hit the 20 minute mark, but I think we covered a lot of ground. But I would say by far the easiest way to just get familiar with skiing and boarding here in the Idaho area is just to reach out to us at myhomeconnection.com. We'll have our contact information in the description as well. And speaking of, in regards to taking advantage of the perfect home buying process, just you can on our site we'll have our contact info, email, phone number, and just reference that perfect home buying process, and we'll get you started, get those offers coming your way, and we'd be glad to help. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you jumping on the call today and giving everybody a little insight into what we have to offer here in beautiful Idaho.
Thank you.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Absolutely. Hey guys, I'm gonna take
All
the
right.
elevator. Catch you next time.
All right, everybody, have a blessed one.